Let's continue on our series Adventurous Action. If you didn't watch the first parts, check the link in the description. Jumong remains stranded and questions the way of behaving of the youngster. They move inside the palace with Musong. They meet Lady Yoa and she illuminate him she have already made arrangements on what Jumong requested. Lady Yoa don't understand when Daiso and Yongpo were bringing honor to Buyo, Jumong was working at the merchant clan. Jumong asked her not to stress. After they move to the ironware workshop and introduce Musong to Mo Parmo, Jumong informed Musong from now he will be a gatekeeper at the ironware workshop. Musong is exceptionally frustrated in light of the fact that he expected to be a royal guard. Jumong presumed that he will contact Mo Parmo through Musong from now. After Jumong assembles his men and acquaint Mo Parmo with the gathering, he illuminate them that he should start arrangements. And what he says from this point forward, they ought to keep inside their own hearts, and stay quiet about everything. Jumong enlightened them how Daiso settled the conflict with the Han nation and re-established trade relations. He proceeds with that although the salt exchange is as life to Buyo, the one thing more significant is to improve weaponry. We realize how long an effort Mo Parmo put resources into this. Jumong guarantees them how he will find the superior technique and win the place of the crown prince. Mo Parmo informed Jumong that Yuntabal had once vowed to assist him find the superior method of creating weaponry. In the palace the king receives a letter from the local managers. Subsequent to going through it he asked palace emissary whether he figured out who removed the weaponaries from the ironware workshop. He informed the king that they are still investigating the matter. After the meeting Daiso informed his man how he should take the responsibility and find the culprits who takes the weapons. Daiso thinks palace emissary won't be able to find the culprit. The following day Mo Parmo meets Jia and asks him whether it's true Chief Yuntabal knows the mystery of making the strongest sword. Yet Jia continues to mislead him how the master is nowhere to be found. Today he insisted and meet him. Yuntabal illuminate him and exchange his compromise, so on the off chance that he assist him, what will Mo Parmo do for him? He proceeds with that he trades not only in Buyo, yet additionally in the Han nation. So he have covertly established a man in the Han nation's capital iron workshop. Yuntabal continues to drive his psyche by these straightforward facades. Later Sono inquire as to whether he truly established somebody in the Han country's iron workshop. He say that he regret not doing that, such an expert liar. Naru tells Daiso they found the one who was behind illegal trade with Okjo. He assembles a troopers and go to Dochi's place. Daiso asks him who gave him the weapons from the iron workshop. Dochi first denies and Daiso takes steps to end his life. Dochi says it was Yongpo and the palace emissary. Daiso promptly returns and calls for them. Daiso asks them for what valid reason they took the weapons out. Even their uncle the palace messenger who might have forestalled Yongpo, however rather he went along with him. As expected Yongpo generally apologizes. Daiso advises them to take out every individual who is familiar with this. That late night the workers inform Mo Parmo how they managed to get one strong sword out of 10 being tested. He tests it and the sword is truly amazing. He encouraged them to keep their mouth shut. He comes and tell Musong he want to meet Jumong right away. They move out yet on their way it appears to be there's somebody watching after them. They are gone after by chronic executioners, whom we expect to be Yongpo's men. They came to eliminate Mo Parmo because he also knows on their secret of smuggling the swords. Musong has a go at battling utilizing the sword they recently made. He prompt Mo Parmo to run and call Jumong to help. Jumong is moving around with his men. He sees Mo Parmo being pursued by some fighter. They engage in the fight and Mo Parmo inform him Musong is in danger and needs immediate support. Jumong comes and joins the fight with the skilled kicking styles, similar to mine. His abilities have improved and Musong who used to train him stood aside and just watch him thrashing these men. He uncovers one survivor and get to realize they are Daiso's men. Daiso asks Yongpo what occurred and he offers him a frustrating response. Mo Parmo will be cautious since there has been an attempt to kill him. Daiso orders him to put somebody in the ironware workshop and get rid of Mo Parmo. That second Jumong comes in. Jumong lets them know it is an extraordinary sin to take weapons from the iron workshop. And again attempt to kill Mo Parmo and his knowledge. He illuminate Yongpo assuming his highness finds out, and vision what punishment will be given to him. Jumong proceeds with that assuming they mean to kill him to quiet him, that will be a terrible judgment. Since there are a lot more mouths to silence. Jumong reasons that he's no longer the Jumong that used to fear their threatening. Come on Daiso cut his throat. Furthermore, in the wake of leaving Yongpo exhaust however Daiso commands him to remain quiet and he irately sends him out. Jumong that very night meets his mother. She illuminate him Buyo had crisis regards salt as of late. Yet when she was living in Harbeck, salt was their soul. She lets him know how she met King Gimwa when all her clan were slaughtered by the Han. She proceeds when she was youthful she heard from her dad, that in Gosan Nation, there was a mountain covered with valuable salt. Yet it should be a myth because of valuable nature of salt. The following day Jumong talks with Jia and asks him whether he have at any point been to Gosan Nation. As I expected he have never been there. Jia continues that it's so far and it's said that there is nothing to trade there. After that Jumong meets his men and request that they search whether there's anybody in Buyo from Gosan country. They begin traveling through the town asking the occupants. They figure out how to get one and carry him to Jumong. He after meet Sosono and illuminate her he have a transaction for her. He enlighten her regarding Gos and then Sosono likewise illuminate her dad. Sosono agreed to take the merchants yet his dad is stressed over the significant distance. Sosono informed them when they prevail in Gosan Nation, besides the fact that they bring in an enormous measure of cash, yet in addition convey their popularity further. She comes out and informed Jumong the chief allowed them to go. She further illuminate him they are setting off when arrangements for the journey is finished. That exact second Naru comes and tells Sosono Prince Dai So requests an audience with her. She rather advise him to illuminate Dai So such a large number of issues came up and she can't go to the palace now. Inside Chief Yuntabal tells Wote he won't go this time with Sosono, and inform him how he have different issues for him to take care of. Jumong asks his men for what reason they don't show up also. He closes the journey will be extreme, so they need to plan and he leave. Naru returns and informed Daiso what Sosono had said. Daiso say since Sosono can't come then he should go. However, he have a gathering with the ministers, so he should go some other time. The traders begin pressing the products which they will trade with the salt. Seong comes and request, they have a casual conversation with Sosono. He asks her whose thought was it to go to Gosan country. It was Jumong. Individuals are as yet uninformed with Gosan salt. It would be really great for their trade clan the long run in the event that they figure out how to find salt in Gosan. But since of this Buyo will be liberated from the stranglehold held on them. And this will make it a more powerful realm than it is currently, so they will assist their enemy with managing his weak spot, and the results won't be really great for their tribe, Gairu. So to keep Gairu tribe strategically positioned to oppose Buyo, salt must be their most prominent weapon. Then, at that point, assuming this is the case Sosono becomes chief in their clan, she should lead people of Gairu. Seong closes by telling her not to just look at the facts, she need to think farther than that. Jumong comes and illuminate his mother he will be away for quite a while, on his excursion to Gosan. Jumong might want to deal with this issue for his majesty, she lets him know despite the fact that she had from his granddad. Yet nobody truly knows whether Gosan country has any salt. Jumong guarantees her since he met certain individuals from Gosan country at Buyo. Lady Yowa tells him assuming that he figure out how to find salt there, it will be a monstrous wellspring of solidarity for Buyo. When Jumong is leaving Lady Yowa gives him a jade ring and on the off chance that Jumong meet the woman he loves, he gives it to her. That very night Lady Yowa meets King Gimwa. He asks her whether Jumong know that Hamosu is really his dad. Lady Yowa says she don't think so. Gimwa say it's a major relief. If Jumong somehow managed to find out, it will be a major blow to him. Gimwa illuminate her he will enlighten Jumong regarding this personally when the opportunity arrives. That second high priestess is reported and she comes in, she illuminate them the Damui bow. Sacred relic of Shijo mountain has been broken. The Damui bow is an ancient and divine artifact. Not something can be broken by a human being, and that being who broke the bow, will without a doubt cast a dark shadow over Buyo. This frustrates the king and tell her the bow might have been broken due to old age. And in the event that she choose to get all odd and frigidity, let the divination palace handle it. The king further inform her that Buyo's future lies not within the divination palace, but with him the king. Yomilyu leaves with a lot of outrage and orders her worker to bring the priestesses from Sakuldo. She lets them know they need to hold the divine ceremony 10 days from now. One priestess illuminate her services like this ought to just be held during significant occasions in the country. Yomilyu lets them know Buyo and the divination palace are going to go through an emergency. They start the service that very night. What a drawn out night. They sacrifice a white goat and smear the blood in the water. There comes profound images drawn and Yomilyu understands it however they stunned. The ministers were aside watching everything. Prime Minister Channon enlightened them since Hamosu's death, His Highness has changed totally. His Majesty's recent thoughts have eluded the Prime Minister. That very night. Sosono in the wake of re-examining about Sayong's statement she returns. She let him know they will continue their arrangements to go to Gosun Nation, and she need to help Prince Jumong. Finally, that morning they set for the journey. Chief Yuntabal illuminate them, assuming that they figure out how to clear another shipping lane between Gosun Nation and this trade tribe. It will be a significant stage, and they start their long excursion to Gosun. Byang was aside, moving eyes to at least express farewell to Jumong, so Sono feel bad about this. She sees him and requests that he deal with himself. Han Dang was aside, and he quickly illuminate his manager how Jumong and the group venturing out to Gosun. Dochi sends him again to figure out more. He's certain there's nothing in Gosun. Han Dang asks him for what valid reason he draw near to Prince Yongpo who won't turn into the crown prince. Dochi enlighten him somebody as credulous as Yongpo might not turn into the crown prince. Dochi at any point simply need to drain his fortune, and that is the explanation. In the royal chambers, the king gather all the nobles and the generals. The prime minister inform him the divine service has already been happening for 3 days in the divination palace. So they request that he visit the divination palace. His highness illuminate them in future. They absolutely never present to whatever must do with the divination palace. Then, at that point, he tell them as per Chief Yuntabal, Hungin country has been acting strangely. One minister illuminate him when the governor of Hyeontugun met with the king Hengin. The general of Okjo was there too. Heads of the two nations have started exchanging information. After the gathering, Prince Yongpo tell Dai So he came clean with Priestess Yomilyu concerning the Damuyi bow. Dai So is worried about the results that it will bring to their prestige, so he leaves with a lot of outrage. Dai So after comes to Chief Yuntabal's place to examine the matter about the Hengin and the Han nation, and even meet his girlfriend So Sono, as he thinks so. Yang Tabal tell him So Sono is bringing a caravan on an expedition to Gosun country. He further illuminate him in what way So Sono will be the future head of his trade tribe, and Jumong likewise obliged her. This bothers Dai So. They move inside and Dai So ask how Jumong and So Sono came to know one another. Yang Tabal lets him know how she saved his life and after the group carried Jumong to Mountain Shijo. This takes Dai So's breath away in light of the fact that Jumong deceived them, how he never arrived at Mountain Shijo. On Jumong and the merchants, So Sono conclude they set up a camp since it's getting dark. That evening subsequent to setting up the camps they begin enjoying, So Sono comes and asks Jumong to go along with them inside. However, as the wise dude denies since he needs to be near his men. Inside, So Sono, Jia, and Seong have some discussion. Jia as a mature man figures out So Sono is messed with Jumong and asks he calls him inside, yet she denies true to form. That late night Jumong advises his men to proceed to rest, he will watch. So Sono goes along with him as she really can't nod off. They begin making them stream discussion. Jumong guarantees her they should succeed. She inquire as to why he say that. Jumong reminds her when he initially met her on the road to Mountain Shijo. She said even 10 Jumongs won't be a counterpart for her. She say Jumong looked fairly useless back in the days, even not knowing the legitimate method for expressing gratitude toward his benefactor. I focused in on this discussion to show you there's no much sensible words verbally expressed, however they are simply discussing each other past. Back in Buyo, Woke comes and illuminate Chief Yuntabal the Hyeontugun governor has shown up at Buyo. This shocks the chief. He asks why the convoy positioned at Hyeontugun didn't receive any news. In the palace, Dai So likewise educated about the governor's visit as well. Back to the merchants, they reach Hengin city that evening and they eat at certain restaurant. Jumong is very busy making a map of their course. Yotbo advise him to pass on those stuff to Marie. He has phenomenal memory and the things he has seen, he always remembers. Jumong hands it to him and Marie illuminate Jumong how he missed out a crossroad before the mountain route. That second a few men comes in and notice So Sono, they quickly illuminate their chief. We get to realize this is the group who attempted to rob So Sono and the group in late parts. Wote disobeyed So Sono's orders and refused to kill them. He sends his men to bring So Sono. Jumong illuminates So Sono and the group. Him and his men they will scout for another course. That late night there comes men in cover and ask the room the leader of the caravan is staying. They go into her room, however fortunately she was conscious. She begin battling them and she takes a stab at guarding herself. Jumong was also awake and hears some strange noise. He heads out to check. He finds these men battling So Sono. He joins the fight. We shall continue from here the next time. Subscribe to the channel to help it out. Thanks for watching.